Hi all, so in this video we will be covering files, right? Basically some continuation from last week or in the last video. So in our last video what we did, we wrote to a file, and in this video we will be reading from a file. So in this case I have a file called story.txt, and this is what my story.txt file contains. It contains names of storybooks, right? Okay, so let's get started. So let's go to a C++ program. We have a hash include fstream, and quickly I will code this and I will come back to it and I will explain line by line, right? So we will be using ifstream because we will be reading from a file. Ofstream to write to a file, ifstream to read from a file. We'll create a variable, we'll open the file story.txt. Okay, we'll use a while loop. Don't worry, I'll come back to this. While getLine file, specify a variable called text. Here we'll say text and endline. Okay, and we'll say file dot close. All right. Okay, set. So let's explain this, right? Let's do this. Okay, so we have our hash include ifstream. That's basic input output. Hash include fstream is the header for files, and then in our int main is the main part of the program. So now we have on our line 7 is a variable text of type string which has been declared. I will come back to that, right? And we have our ifstream file. So it is very similar to declaring something like a variable, whereby a variable such as x will be of data type int. Giving an example, right? So in this case is a variable file of data type ifstream, and ifstream is for specifically telling the program that I am going to read from the file. Okay, so next we have to, whether we are going to read from a file or whether we are going to write to a file, we will have to open the file. Yes, and it is good programming practice to close the file later. So first we open the file. We open the file here called story.txt because that is where our information is stored, right? In story.txt. So we open the file, and in here what happens, let me explain the logic. So this loop will continue until there is no other lines in the txt file. So what it is doing is this getLine function. What it does is it reads a particular line from file and stores that line in variable text. Let me repeat that once again. Okay, so this getLine function, it reads from the file story.txt because file is story.txt, right? And it stores the particular line in a variable called text. That's why we've declared a string of text on top. Okay, so let me just go to my story.txt, right? So when I run this program, what it'll do is first it will read this line and it'll store it in a variable called text, and it'll display the text onto the screen. It'll go back into the loop, it'll read the next line, store it in variable called text, it'll display onto the console, read the next line, store it in a variable called text. Likewise, it'll keep on going until the end. So once it reaches the end, example it reads Madeline, it stores in a variable called text and it displays onto the screen. After that, there is no other information, therefore it will exit the while loop and it will close the file. Yes, you must be wondering, I have not run this program yet. Let's run it, right? Okay, no errors. Very good. So basically it does what we want it to do. So let's see if it matches here. Okay, here we go. So we have Goldilocks and the three bears, Little Red Riding Hood, and so on. All right, so that is good. It is really good, right? So I hope you understand what this code does. If some of you still have difficulty facing or understanding getLine, I think I will do another video based on getLine. And for those of you who do not, very good, right? I hope you understand the concept of files. This will be the last video based on files, and the next few videos will be something similar to pointers or um, vectors, maybe even recap on functions, right? So thank you so much for watching this video. I see you in the next one.